Dear members of Parliament in Knesset and all other participants in the Jerusalem Prayer Conference this year, both in Israel and online worldwide. My name is Julia Kronlid and I'm a member of the Swedish Parliament here in Stockholm, and I'm also the second vice party leader in the party Sweden Democrats. And it's a big honor for me to have the possibility to send a message to you during this prayer conference. The Holy Land Israel has always been a country dear to my heart. First time I came to Israel and had the possibility to visit all the places I heard in the Bible stories during my childhood. It was like a big dream come true for me. And at the same time, it makes me really sad to see and follow all the struggles Israel has to defend itself against many enemies and terrorists. And I really want to send my condolences to all the relatives that lost their dear ones during the conflict attacks during this spring. In Sweden Democrats, we have been very clear that Israel has to have the right to defend itself when terrorist attacks. And it's also sad that the terrorist group Hamas use human shields in the conflict, and all innocent lives lost in the conflict is a very big sorrow. It also makes me sad that there are so many misunderstandings against Israel in Sweden and also other countries in Europe. And there are so much lack of knowledge and understanding of the history of the Jewish people and the history of the Israel country. It also makes me sad that there are still anti-Semitism alive in Sweden and other countries in Europe, and somewhere it's growing also. And I want to make sure that my party do everything that we can to stop this anti-Semitism. However, I also know that there are many people in Sweden that support Israel. And during this conflict, during this spring, I have seen so many Israel flags on the Facebook profiles, and that's also one on mine. And I hope that more people could lift their eyes from these conflicts and see all the positive sides of Israel. That Israel is the only full democratic state in the Middle East. That Israel is a very important state for technical innovations. And how Israel has been a very good model in how to handle the corona crisis, how they took very quick measures to stop spreading the virus, and how they give vaccine to the people very quick. And I wish that more people could see that Israel state respect all their citizens, as well as Jewish people, the Arab people, both Christian and Muslims. And I wish that more could have the possibility to see what a beautiful country Israel is, perfect for tourism. And I hope after this corona crisis is over, I could go and visit Israel again. And I hope someday Israel and also the people around the countries and the people around Israel can experience peace with their neighbors and solutions for all parts included. And this is a prayer conference, so I hope we could come together and pray for peace and security in Israel and for the neighbors, for good health and for an end to this corona crisis worldwide, and for better relationships and diplomatic contacts between Sweden and other countries in the Nordic countries and other countries in Europe and Israel. And we can pray for a good and secure life for Jewish people living around Europe. And we can also pray for the newly elected president, Isaac Herzog. I hope you have a wonderful conference down in Israel, and I hope I could come and visit this conference someday in the future. God bless you all.